Okay, we're here today with Helen Bloom, and I'm interviewing her. This is Daniel Newman. It's January 20th, 2007. Grandma, how old are you today?
No holiday.
No, how old are you today?
Oh, well, I answered her 91.
91, all right. I know you spent the first part of your life in Poland. What were the first, was it 13 years? Or
Yes.
what was your first 13 years like?
It was very good. We used to go away summers to the country. Every summer my father had a shoe store, and the apartment was in back of the store. We had an upstairs gallery where we slept, and downstairs was a dining room and a dressing room and a kitchen. And then there was a back entrance and a front entrance. We could come in from the back or the front. My father had about 4 people working for him, and he had a section that was for the workers, like it was blocked off, and then there was a part for the selling part on the other side.
So you had like the whole process.
Yeah.
Whole process. Do you know how much he charged for
the rent? I don't
shoes?
know.
Or how much did he charge for a pair of shoes back then?
Oh, for a pair of shoes. It was zlotys, it wasn't dollars, it was zlotys.
Yeah.
I think it was like 12 zlotys.
And what city did you grow up in?
Lodz.
Okay, in Poland.
Yes.
Okay.
So that part,
Yeah. What you said there's a front entrance and a back entrance. What was outside the back entrance?
The back entrance was a yard that led to other apartments. The buildings were both sides of the yard with what do you call them? Not balconies.
Yeah.
On both sides, and then there was inside a stairwell going up the stairs, 4 floors, but there was no elevators.
Okay. And what floor did you guys live on?
Well, we were on the main floor.
Okay.
Yeah.
And his shop was also there?
Yes, but it was all on one floor. It was all on one floor.
And your apartment where you guys lived was?
The apartment and the shop was all one area.
Gotcha. It
was divided in different sections.
And how about the front? Did the front open up to a plaza or something?
The front opened up to the street.
Okay.
The Srednja Ulica.
That was like the main strip.
That was the name of the street. And across from our house, our building was a police station, and they had a building of their own. And it was a very nice block. It led parallel to Poznańska Ulica. Poznańska, that was the main street in Lodz.
Okay.
That was like, you would say, 5th Avenue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I remember that when I visited
a
couple of years ago.
Yes.
I remember the main street, and then like 1 or 2 blocks over is where you guys were.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Did anybody interesting ever visit the store?
Interesting? Like a president?
Yeah, or did local people, did only Jewish people use it? Did soldiers ever come in?
Whoever came in, soldiers, probably. Whoever wanted shoes came in.
Yeah, but I mean, your grandfather was never threatened or anything?
My grandfather was not.
Or your father, rather?
My grandfather lived a few buildings away on the same street, about a block away, and my grandmother lived there. And then they left to this country before us. But some of my father's family came here. Some of my mother's family came here. And we all followed.
Mm-hmm.
Once you have family here, you make out a certificate that you want to leave, and you get permission. The first time we were turned down, then the second time we were okay. And I was left behind because I had trouble with my eyes. And for 6 months I was there without the family. After 6 months I went to join them.
Who did you stay with when the whole family
I stayed with a family, a cousin or something like that.
So you didn't come over and then have to go back?
No, they just didn't let you enter here.
Okay.
Yeah, when I got here, you go to Ellis Island and they examine you again, and if it's okay, they keep you. If not, they send you back.
So it was okay the first time?
It was okay, I stayed, yeah.
The first time you came
And the
over?
family I stayed with was very nice. They were rich people, and they treated me good.
In Poland?
In Poland, yeah.
Mm-hmm. What was the voyage over like when you crossed the ocean?
It was very interesting. It was very nice. I enjoyed it.
I mean, did you have one room, or was it a gigantic galley with everybody sleeping together? Do you remember anything about the
I
passage?
think I was with someone else, just about one other person in the room.
And did you come over by yourself, or
Yeah.
did no relatives or anything?
No, all by myself.
How much stuff did you bring?
But they, you know, they have like a watch. They have order to look out for you.
Okay.
So that's the protection you have.
And you were 13 when you came over?
Yeah.
Had you had your bat mitzvah?
They were for girls. There was no bat mitzvahs there.
Would you attend shul?
We attended shul. There was a shul back of the building where we lived. In the building, all the way in the back, there was a synagogue where my parents attended and we attended.
Mm-hmm. And everyone knew you guys were Jewish?
The whole building was Jewish.
Okay.
There was no, one section of the lodge was all Jewish.
Okay.
The only ones who were not Jewish was the superintendent.
And would non-Jews use your dad's store for your shoes?
Whoever came in was a customer.
And that was fine?
It was fine, as long as he sold shoes. We had people working there. We had 4 people making shoes.
Do you know if they were Jewish?
The people working, I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay. Cool. And you said like your dad's family came over here before, like your grandparents.
Yes, and my grandparents came over. My mother's family was here. Then we made an application to come here. And then first time we were turned down. We waited a few months, and then we were accepted. Accept me.
Yeah.
Okay. Then my mother came to this country, and then Maya was born in this country.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So where did they first settle?
They've settled in the Bronx.
Okay. Do you remember what part or what street or anything?
The name of the street was Marmion Avenue, near 180th Street.
Okay.
And after that was the first settlement. After a few years, we moved to Vise Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
And we lived there. And from there, actually, I left to get married from Vise Avenue.
So you lived there your whole life?
Until I got married.
Yeah. And what was life like
Well, when I was 18,
in that neighborhood?
first of all, when I had to make up school when I came here. So I went into public school and I made up the classes. Then I was graduated. I was skipped a lot because I knew everything except the language. And then I went to a high school on Roosevelt Avenue. Whatever avenue it was. It was a high school. We used to be able to ride there by bus or we could walk. And it was 5 cents fare, so we tried to walk and save the 5 cents.
Do you remember what you did with the money you saved?
With the money I saved, finally my parents got it. My father borrowed it from me and I never got it back. That was the savings.
You don't remember what he needed the money for, huh?
He needed money. He needed the money, yeah.
What did he do when he got here?
My father, he went into the shoe business too.
Okay.
But he didn't make new shoes, just repair. First he had a store on Marmion Avenue on the other side from where we lived, about a block away. And after that he moved to 180th Street.
Mm-hmm.
We had a store there. And that's where I lost my dog from when I was 18. I had a dog and I took him to my father's store and he ran across the street. I don't know if we used to use a leash at the time or not. I don't remember that.
You remember what kind of dog it was?
Yeah, it was a little poodle.
Oh, yeah.
Small poodle, yeah. Very cute.
What-
Then we moved, when we got married, we moved here. I had a cat. And I used to go to work at that time. After Laura was about 8 years old, and Ian was already 11, I went back to work. And Laura went to school full time, you know. So I went back to work, and I had a cat in the house.
Yeah.
And she used to sit on top of that little thing that I have in there, that little cabinet on top of it. And the minute I came home, she was jumping, and if I put something on the table, she was right on top of it. That was some cat.
Yeah. And did you get this dog and the cat when they were really young, like as a puppy? And
The cat?
yeah.
Well, the dog we got when he was a puppy. The cat I got, we found her, as a matter of fact, Laura found her coming home from school one day. And she brought her home. She wanted to know if I kept her. She was a cute little cat. She was lost in the street. Somebody abandoned her.
Yeah.
And Laura brought her home.
Wow. And the dog?
No, when she was coming home from school in the afternoon. She went, you know, when you go to college, you don't stay very late. You come home early, and it was still light. It was about 3, 4 o'clock maybe earlier. I don't remember exactly what time she used to come home. But they used to come home from school not very late.
But Laura also brought you home a dog later that you didn't want, right?
That's my father. Saul didn't want.
Uh-huh. Grandpa wasn't into having dogs.
No.
But did she find the dog on the streets, or did she buy it for you guys?
I don't remember where she got it. I don't.
I'll ask her. And so, what was, you said you got here and you had to, this is to back up a little bit, you said you got here and you started school. Had you studied any English in Poland before?
No.
So, what was it like? How did you learn English? How long did it take you?
How long I learned was it? You pick up very fast when you were young like that. I guess I must have learned in 6 months, because I kept going from one class. I kept jumping from one to the high, and then within 1 year I was out of public school, and I was sent to high school.
Wow. Were you behind?
Well, you
How
see,
old were you when you started high school?
You know everything. Of course I was behind. I was older than most of the kids there.
Yeah.
Most kids graduate the high school at 14.
More like 18.
18, yeah. So I went to high school when I was 14, maybe 15. Maybe 15, I went to high school. And I didn't go for the 4 years there.
Mm-hmm.
Because by 18 already I went to work. Got a job in the industry, in the dress industry.
What was your job in the dress industry?
I was an examiner.
And what do they do?
Well, the first job I had was an examiner. You examine the clothes. The clothes are all there on a rack, and you look for things that should be, the buttons are wrong, or there are threads that have to be cut down. You just examine the dress for perfection.
Mm-hmm.
And if something is wrong, you send it back to the person who made it, and they have to alter it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an exam. I think I did that for 6 months, and then I started working on a machine. And then after about 2 years, I started working with a designer, a sample maker.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I spent most of my, as a sample maker, doing with a designer.
What do you do as a designer?
Like a designer gives you a picture of what you want, and you have to make the whole thing from scratch.
How did you learn what to do?
Well, I had an ability for sewing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always did. I was very handy with knitting and sewing and beading, all kinds of things.
Did your mother teach you that, or did you learn by watching someone else?
My mother was in a dressmaker too.
And did she have a machine back in Poland?
Yeah. That's how I learned how to sew on that machine.
Wow. Yeah, my friend makes dresses and
Yeah.
baby slings and stuff by herself on a sewing machine. Do you remember the first machine you had? What kind of sewing machine it was?
It was for the singer, because that's all there was, the singers. There was nobody else making machines at the time. Now, it probably is different. At the time, singer was it.
Yeah. And did Al, when he was selling sewing machines, did he sell that brand?
Yeah, he sold that brand and many other brands. He became a millionaire selling machines.
Wow.
And now Selma and her daughter control all that money. He used to send me every Christmas about $10,000.
Wow.
And Mo used to send me money too, but now no more. Selma's controlling the pocket.
Yeah. What would you do with the money that you get? What would you do with the $10,000?
Well, I saved it, and you got some of it.
Definitely, you've been absolutely generous. So, was that a tough decision when Al moved out to Colorado? And Mo went out to Chicago?
It just happened that he was in the Army, and he was already married, and I think Carolyn was already born by the time he went into the Army, because they had their child right away after they got married. They lived in Parkchester, the Bronx.
Are you talking about Meyer or Mo?
Mo, Al. You're talking about Al.
Al. You said Karen. Was his oldest daughter Karen?
Carolyn.
Carolyn, okay.
Carolyn was a baby.
Okay.
They had the baby right away, and he went into the Army even though she had a baby. He was called in. He went into the Army, and after the Army, he happened to be out west, and he liked Denver very much. And that's where they moved and settled. That's how he became a millionaire out there. He knew a lot about sewing machines and him, and evidently he did the right thing.
Yeah. Well, do you know what war he went into?
It was the war in 45.
Was that World War II or Korea?
It wasn't Korea, it was World War II.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But he didn't leave the country, he stayed in
No, he was out west.
Okay. Wow.
Maya was in the Army too for a little while. So was Mo.
They were drafted or they chose to go?
They were drafted, they didn't choose to go. Nobody chose to go.
Do you remember the feeling in the neighborhood or in the country during the war?
The feeling in the country?
Do you remember what were your thoughts on it?
Well, we didn't like it.
Yeah.
Nobody likes the war.
How does it compare to the war going on now in Iraq?
Well, that's always different. Too many people were involved in it then. It was closer to here, the Second World War. It had nothing to do with we were involved in it. I mean, actually, we were part of the war. We didn't just go over to another country to do it. It was here.
Where did so you said you worked as a dressmaker, and how did you live at home? Did you live with your parents?
Of course.
So what would you do for recreation, or what would you do for fun?
What we did, we used to go to the country.